Hey everyone, welcome to Desperate for Distraction. It's Cole here. I recently purchased Battlefield 6 because it was on sale, and I'm an avid Battlefield fan, it just made sense. Heard good things about it initially during the beta, but not much afterwards. I decided to give it a try, and I had thousands of hours in Battlefield 4 and Battlefield 5. My first complaint about the game is that it just feels flat. Other Battlefields always left me with a sense of excitement and cinema when playing. I was always excited for the next round when I first started each of the games. I remember at the beginning of playing Battlefield 5 how cinematic bleeding out in the snow waiting for a revival was, all of the characters screaming out in pain, and the cinematic pickup and revive. Battlefield 4 had that feeling with the Levolution system. Everyone remembers how cool the building collapse in Siege of Shanghai was. This game in comparison has nothing going for it. It has silly cartoony revives, small disjointed maps, a clumsy UI that takes up most of the screen, and no real soul. It feels similar to the Modern Warfare 2 remake with better destruction and vehicles but worse maps. I believe a major issue with the game is the map. I generally enjoy rush and breakthrough style game modes, but it seems to me like the defenders have such a huge edge. The maps lack cover. The best example, which is in the background of the video, is Blackwell Fields. The very first objective has such little cover for the attackers that unless the attacking team wins in the first push or coordinates an offensive with smoke grenades, the game devolves into a sniping and revive fest. This is made worse by the ability for all classes to use any weapon. It makes this the rate that everyone starts sniping at much faster. People don't want to play the objective because pushing is bad for your KD, so they just sit back and lose. All sniping and mortars, no real fun. The other issue is that they are too linear and narrow. There is nowhere to flank because the maps are such thin slices. Attackers generally either win in the initial engagement or are forced to throw themselves at the objective from the same three angles over and over. The only section of map I even liked at all was the final objective on Blackwell because it had three objectives. Much more places to spawn and move around and find different engagements. The other issue I have is pacing. The game modes are now made to be over in 10 minutes. Everyone remembers a few of the awesome back and forth matches that would last for 45 minutes in the other Battlefields. Intense matches like Obliteration on Battlefield 4, where everyone was really trying hard to secure the win. These 10-minute matches aren't long enough to become invested in. I had a round where as attackers we pushed and took every objective, winning in about 3 minutes. It didn't feel like a real win, just hollow. There was no excitement. Now that I've voiced my major complaints, let's talk about what I think can be done to improve the game. Map improvement of making the maps wider and adding more sources of cover closer to the objective. Balance fixes between attackers and defenders. I believe attackers should have half of their total tickets at the start and get another half at the halfway objective. This would help games where one objective is especially formidable but others aren't. More respawns to throw at these objectives could decrease the number of first objective losses. Increase the number of objectives per sector would be another improvement. A single breakthrough point is boring and doesn't provide places for attackers to spawn. It also prevents fun back and forth capturing and defending rotating play. A single point is a huge reason why people are just sitting in one area the entire game. Now, since I'm assuming that Battlefield 6 won't make improvements, I'm going to give my opinion on what they should do in a future game. I refunded the game Battlefield 6 and it was improved. I'm not a never again customer. This is what I would like to see and believe others would in a future game. My hopes for Battlefield 6 was that it would be like Battlefield 4's Levolution system in modern setting, meeting Battlefield 5's map size, game speed, and destruction and cinematics. I tried to go back to Battlefield 4 after Battlefield 5, but the game felt like molasses compared to Battlefield 5 and newer games on the market. Battlefield 6 lacks the crucial elements that made both of these games good. That's all I have to say on this topic. Thank you for watching, and please put your opinions in the comments, even if you disagree with me.